And then, yeah, Andy was completely right. I have played some Next Fest demos. DeVito was also completely right. I played 300, but I have narrowed it down to less than that for your sake. I don't want to bore you.
Can you
I'll
give
just
it
bore you a little bit?
Can you tell me the Can you tell us the number of demos you actually did play?
Oh, I don't actually know the exact amount. Something like
326,
15 or 16, I think this year or this February.
It's a good amount of demos.
A respectable number.
And to be fair, not all of them I stuck with to the end of the demo, or not all of them I played for like an hour. Some of them I spat out immediately upon tasting it. Right, over a dozen at least. So hopefully it's entertaining for me to run quickly through these, and I'll post the links for you guys so you can look at the Steam pages. First one, Botany Manor, which we had seen a trailer for this one not too long ago. It's a calm first-person walk-around puzzle game. You are in and about the grounds of Botany Manor, collecting flower seeds, and then you piece together from environmental clues how to make them bloom, which happens instantly once you figure out the solution. It's a puzzle. But as I said, just a pretty relaxing puzzler game. It looks like there'll be some lore about like the family of Botany Manor to uncover, but yeah, there's just like context for the puzzles. This one's on my wish list.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna wish list that too, because it just looks like strange agriculture plus like
could be a Kate game.
The fucking viewfinder or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Next, Drive Rally, or hashtag Drive Rally, or sorry, hashtag Drive Rally, which is a rally racer that caught my eye because of the graphic style.
Is this a sequel to something? This name
I have no idea.
Sounds so familiar.
But it's got like this toy-like appearance. I don't know how to describe it exactly. It's simplistic, or maybe straightforward is the better word, not simplistic. But flat colors, just kind of, I don't know. It's got its own thing going on. Anyway, rally racer. So you are speeding through a winding course alone, while your navigator feeds you directions or shouts you directions, and you're just aiming for the best time you can get.
Hey, VR fans, do you guys ever play a game called Ski Jump VR? It's early VR 2017.
No, my sister died in a horrible skiing accident when we were kids.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's the only other game made by these guys, is why I asked.
I'm not a ski freak, if you will.
I was a ski freak.
I played a few times in my childhood.
I was the ski freak that killed your sister.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Lock him up.
I was like the little
asked and answered, right?
I was like the Yeti guy that came out and like ate.
Ate my sister. That's what I was going for, and you.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't do too well at Drive Rally in my time playing, but I think it's just with any car game, you sort of need some time to get the hang of it, hang of the controls, but seems solid enough. I'm not the best judge of racing games, but I like the aesthetic. The next one is hashtag Blood. Speaking of hashtag titles,
why are they doing this? Is this something to do with Next Fest or something?
Hashtags.
Yeah, why the hashtags?
No, I put these two together to be cheeky, but I don't think there's any. I think it's just coincidence that there's two in the next.
All right, this is an open note to all young indie developers. Don't put hashtags in your game title. I don't like it.
Well, I think you do that to make sure your game is at the top of lists alphabetically, right?
Is that what it does? This is like
I completely
AA Dandy Flower.
I completely just made that up. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the only reason I could think of why I would do it.
Yeah. Hey guys, just so you know,
maybe they like the name.
If you don't want to appeal to 32-year-old boomer Vito, don't put a hashtag in your title.
It looks like the main character is
taking
fancy selfies for like Twitter or whatever this Twitter, the in-universe Twitter is.
Well, first off, hashtags are not.
I used to call
the
it
boomer
the pound
comment.
Symbol.
Hashtags was our generation. Hashtags are not even a thing anymore. I don't think people hashtag.
You're
Well, you're
insane.
wrong though, because the game
You're
just
actually-
did.
yeah,
We just
I
got
was like,
2
you're
games
wrong.
in a
You're
row
actually-
that just did.
I mean, Twitter
Fuck.
still exists. People use
Got it.
hashtags on
Well, Twitter
Instagram and
doesn't
shit.
still exist.
I know
technically.
I know that, and so does Instagram. But I think that the hashtagging is like less important than it ever was.
I think
Anyway,
I don't know about
You're
ever
probably wrong.
was.
all right. Well, I do.
I think it's
social media
plateaued.
for a living, but that's okay.
We'll find out.
A hashtag tell us in an email or something.
Hashtag
Hashtag
in your
tell all.
tags. Yeah, a hashtag blood BLUD. We did see a trailer for this recently as well. It's the
Really?
one that looks like an animated Cartoon Network show. Like that's the whole art style.
That's
It looks like
exactly
Cartoon
what this
Network.
looks like.
Very expressive. Gameplay wise, it's a top down action adventure brawler with RPG elements kind of thing. You are a high school girl running around town, completing like slice of life missions, but also it seems to be about the girl being the daughter of a vampire huntress. So, you know, monsters get introduced. I assume you get some Buffy action going on, meet all sorts of wacky characters. Seems fun. I didn't play it for that long, so I didn't really get into much combat. I mostly just squashed bugs. But it seemed good so far if you're looking for a zany game. And the art style kind of speaks for itself to an extent.
the game looked really cool.
Yeah,
Hashtag
yeah.
blood.
Just
Blood.
with the eyes, it definitely does, yeah. So we'll see if it holds up gameplay-wise. The next one, interesting one, mouthwashing is what it's called.
Oh, I do that
It's
every day.
a me too. It's very relatable as a game. It is a first-person psychological horror game where you are a member of a small crew that has been stranded in a spaceship crash, and it seems to be heavily about the story and the experience, and so you're alternating between interaction with the ship and the characters. Like you're in first person. You are a character though. You're not just a silent protagonist. And
You're the captain.
all I heard you say was app.
Oh, I said, are you the captain?
No, you were not.
That's right.
You were
I'm just watching
specifically
the
not
trailer, but now
captain.
it looks kind of fucked.
Yeah. But also trading off with these hallucinatory horror sequences of some nature, unbeknownst in the demo at least. But the game has sort of a glitchy, grubby sort of aesthetic. Best of all to me, though, the graphics, which are sort of PlayStation 2 style, that really drew my eye. I love the PlayStation 2 style. Especially the character models are just wonderful, just chef's kiss. So graphics
the
alone
map.
would add added this to my wish list, but I was enjoying the game when I was playing it in the demo, so I think this will be a good one.
This is a very cool map I'm seeing in the trailer, or like like the look of it.
Yeah, definitely. Cool world to inhabit. Mullet Mad Jack.
I'm in.
Yeah, now that's a good name right there. Fuck the
Next.
hashtag.
Oh, sorry. It was
This-
called hashtag Mullet Mad Jack. I'm
No.
so sorry.
Oh.
I'm out.
This one, you could probably even guess what this is just from the title, but it's a very fast-paced, manic-paced FPS, quick shooter, very quick levels. Each floor you can just blast through super fast, like under a minute for each floor, and there's a lot of floors, of course, before you hit the
It's like
chapter
a Hotline
boss.
Miami, like
Yeah,
speed
that kind of
and
thing.
Level
He
design.
That's a good
Shoved
comparison.
a knife in this dude's head.
The-
Jesus.
The
Yep.
description of this game reads like a Tim Robinson bit. Your health is time, and you gotta kill to get more time.
You definitely have to kill to get more time. That's true. Yeah, you're not wrong. And then like each floor exit, you get to choose one of 3 upgrades. So you're getting those rapid fire. And then after the chapter boss, you get a bigger upgrade of your choice. And the whole game is just like crazy looking. Like it's clearly styled from anime OVAs from the 80s. That's like the main aesthetic. But then they add on top of that this like glitchy neon internet age vomit on top of that. So your brain just sort of like shuts down trying to process it. So you just go for it. You just shoot and kick and stab, and you hope you get to the end. You know, it's not bad in that way. That's a certain style of game for sure. I liked it well enough. Next one, Children of the Sun. I really like this one, actually. This is I would call it a strategic shooter, fully 3D. First of all, it has the aesthetic of like I was thinking like an edgy alternative comic book where violence is the answer. You know, one of those like from the turn of the millennium, you know? But the gameplay premise is great. You play as a sniper, and each level you have to kill all of the guards in an area or like an encampment. So you start by circling the encampment in this linear arc with just your mouse, and you're marking targets and lining up your shot, like where you want to shoot first. Then you shoot your one bullet that you have at the first target you pick. And then from that dead target, you have to line up what target to send the bullet to next, and so on until each target is dead in the area. So you are chaining a single bullet around the area, killing every target with it.
Like the bullet bounces, like
the bullet
changes
literally
direction.
Just changes direction. Yeah,
gotcha.
Goes from head to head.
That's cool.
Like Yondu's arrow in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but it's like your one bullet does that. And if your bullet goes somewhere and doesn't hit a target, that means you have to start over again. But that's quick enough. And it also keeps your mark, like your target marks when you restart, which is an amazing quality of life feature. And as the levels progress, you get new elements introduced, like being able to shoot gas tanks of cars and stand alone, and being able to guide your bullet slightly mid-flight so you can sort of home it a little bit with your mouse. Simple premise, simple controls, but surprisingly fun. And I feel like there have been games like this in the past where you had that like chaining one bullet thing. You could even compare to something like Super Hot or something like that, right? But I think the whole package is what makes this one. And it has like interstitial comic booky cutscenes, and it's a vibe as well as a fun game to play. So easily wish list for me.
Cool. Yeah, this one looks cool.
What have you just posted, Andy?
I was just I've been following your releases, looking at the developers to see if there's anything interesting in the history or whatever.
Oh, sure.
The developer of Mouthwashing released a free game in January 22 called How Fish is Made, and that the game has overwhelming positive on Steam. That's why I posted. Might be worth you.
I may have to check that out
if you like Mouthwashing. Yeah,
this looks like a John game.
Good call.
And it seems that the How Fish is Made, as of September 2023, had an update that said new content. So maybe it had some updates even after it was released. But it is free.
Wow. More value for the zero.
Yeah, I'm going to wishlist this right now.
Wishlist the free game?
The free game?
Oh, is it free? I didn't even...
Yeah.
How Fish is Made is free.
Right, right.
Mouthwashing is presumably not.
Yeah. I'll still wishlist it for him.
Next one is Echo Point Nova. This is an FPS with
bad name.
Movement options. Yeah, kind of bad generic name. But it's an FPS with movement options. I still haven't played Neon White, but I think it's kind of like that, where you are moving fast, jumping, sliding, grappling, shooting guns, and the levels are floating island stuff. But I think the kicker for this, the interesting thing about this game is that the environment is all voxels, so you can damage it or even like break through walls, kind of make your own path. So that's neat.
I would have called this game
cool.
Surf Shooter. I would have called it Surf Shooter.
Surf Shooter is good. Yeah, that's a better name than Echo Point Nova.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. It does eventually look like it has a neon. What was it called? Neon White.
Neon White, yeah.
I was trying very hard not to say the name of the antagonist in my game. It does look like it has like a neon white vibe, and I'm watching the video eventually, but the first like 10 seconds of the main gameplay trailer is like, oh, it's just a Counter-Strike surf map.
Yeah, because you do that. So that's, I think, a little deceptive. I did that once in the entire demo I played. Just one spot where you kind of slide on a floor, then a wall, then a wall, then a floor. That happened once in the time I played.
Okay.
And just to shed some light, because Neon White is a fantastic game, and I do recommend it. You should definitely try it out. other than the both games are shooters with like movement, this doesn't seem like Neon White. Neon White's like a puzzle shooter. This just seems like a Quake kind of thing, which just seems really cool.
You are right.
I don't know that you're 1,000% wrong, but I have played Neon White.
I think the biggest similarities for me were just the speed of the movement, the fact that you are shooting, and the fact that the environment is floaty, floaty areas.
You move
so I think you're right about the gameplay, though. And also apparently there's co-op in Echo Point Nova.
Yeah, it looks like there is.
So the next one is Ultros, which is a Metroidvania run through like an abstract, psychedelic, trippy art style. And that's kind of what sells the game, if anything's going to sell it. Everything is swirly already. And goopy and garish, garish colors.
It looks cool.
Yeah, this is for the podheads.
What is?
This game's for the podheads out there.
We'll say though, Vito invoked it. I'll just say it's a follow-up. Not a great title. Ultros?
Not a great title?
Simple, undescriptive,
Ultros?
Yeah.
I like Ultros. I think Ultros
should be
cool.
more psychedelic, I think, probably.
Oh, I think it's a cool word.
I think Ultros is a cool name. I think
it's a cool world, but to describe this game, maybe
add an I to it, Ultrosi. Yeah.
No, then that's like sounds like it's like Italian or something.
Ultrosi.
Throws me off.
Well, as the only Italian here, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it seems like a solid
it's
Metroidvania.
Don't answer me. Is this the Hollow Knight killer?
No. There's another game on the Next Fest right now.
Okay.
There's actually another game on the Next Fest right now where you play like a little witch or something, and that one is the Hollow Knight of this Next Fest. Everyone is like keenly aware that it's trying to be Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
well, somebody's gotta. You know what I'm saying?
Did you avoid that game, or you were gearing up to talk about it?
I didn't play that one.
Okay.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not really a Metroidvania guy. I really only chose this one to play because of the art style.
I'm not a Metroidvania guy.
Oh yeah, this one.
You know
Although I love Hollow Knight.
You know why I'm not a Metroidvania guy? Don't make me go back to the same spot twice. Don't do that to me. Don't make me go back.
Fuck off,
don't make me go back to a place I've been already. I already been there. I don't want to go
never
back.
Even played.
I don't mind it in Dark Souls style.
You are the reason we have.
Don't make me do that.
You're the reason we don't have more Yakuza stuff. You just want everything's got to be new, right? I don't want to see one piece. If I see one piece of recycled content, my brain is gonna explode.
Yeah, you don't want me playing that game. I would leave. I would give the worst podcast review ever.
You absolutely would. I mean, you watched that game for all 20 seconds. It came away with the worst possible take.
We're not doing this. I
speed ran the worst.
Yeah, basically.
By
the way, to clarify, the game that Flask mentioned is stealing the show as far as being the Hollow Knight of this Next Fest is Nevergrave, the Witch and the Curse.
Yes, it is.
Which none of us
never
have played.
play.
Oh wow! Yeah, looking at it, it is. Can't speak to the quality, but certainly by the look, it is Hollow Knight.
There's also that other game that's coming out sometime that's just Hollow Knight. I forget what that's called too.
I will say about Nevergrave, I am really, really not interested in playing a game like this that's in early access. Like, it's totally the game that I wait until it's out to play, right? Like, why would you play this in early access?
No. I completely agree with that.
This guy never gave it a chance.
Well, it's co-op, though.
Does it? Oh, you're right.
4-player
Oh, wait,
co-op.
I completely disagree with that.
Four player... Yeah. All right, well, now I'm back in. Like, what the fuck? 4-player Hollow Knight co-op?
That's pretty wild.
All right. The game lost me again. It did. There's a screenshot that shows like the witch doing like a the wind is blowing up my skirt kind of animation. Like, all right, come on. I mean,
it also looks like there's like a little village building side game.
Andy, you just need to get over that. That's like a you thing at this point. If it's not like if you're not numb to that at this point in the timeline.
I just don't like horny fan service. It's that simple.
Sorry, it's a part of
force
life.
of nature.
Sorry.
You know, it's just the wind, bro.
I hate when it gets hot out. Do you think I'm
what, you hate
about
the weather?
Yeah, you hate the weather, bro.
Yeah,
you hate the atmosphere.
You hate wind.
Bro, you hate solar and wind power.
Do you hate
Dude doesn't
volcanoes?
breathe.
Is that what you're telling me?
This guy loves oil. He loves
If we are
drilling
not-
oil.
You fucking love coal power, don't you?
This is a coal-powered podcast, and I will not hear
No, it
anybody say
ain't.
any
No, it
different.
ain't. You're
This
not the
man wants
host.
women
Tell
to
him,
wear
Flash. Tell him to
pants.
eat doo-doo.
This guy likes fracking.
Oh, I love
He's fracking right now.
I'm fracking RN.
I only got a couple
Fracking
games
right
left here.
now.
I like to drink
Flash,
6
let me
cups
give
of
you a little
fracking
break
water
real
a
quick.
day.
Jump into Andy's Steam Next Fest corner.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, you did. You just didn't know you knew. I played one Steam Next Fest game, and it's called Dungeonborn. This game has previously been known as Project Crawl. This is a it's kind of in a totally original kind of game where you pick a class and then you go into like a there's a circle, and then you're going into a dungeon and you're like getting loot and killing other wizards and that kind of thing.
It's like a battle of some not like a regular battle, but like a royal battle.
Well, a battle royale, if you will. Just came up with that. No,
I guess that's cool.
Whoa, hey.
it's a legal Dark and Darker. But it's not as good, I don't think. I wouldn't recommend it. There's some buzz going on right now. And hey, you know, it seems like some other guys who played it liked it, so it could just totally be a me thing, but play Dungeonborn did not like it.
Well, maybe I'll try it out after all. If you were the outlier. What do we call this new type
I actually
of genre?
also
The
played a
Dungeon
game at the Steam
Creeper?
Next Fest.
Yeah. What have you played?
I played that Dread Dawn game. That was like a zombie game.
Top down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I almost played
hold
that
on.
one. Was that good?
Not really that good. I was getting pretty interested in it. Like the beginning of it, because it's basically like you're trapped on a campus. And right as the game starts, you're walking around, you get chased by bullies, and then you basically see someone get attacked by a zombie, like banging on the window for help. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And then it goes, boom, 1 month later. All right. Yeah, you've been stuck in here for a month. There's zombies outside. Oh, but there's people that are alive outside, so they're fine. It was a mess. It was a big mess.
You know what's funny?
And then what happened?
I thought I hadn't played this game. I actually booted this one up. And I so disliked the initial impression of the game that I immediately uninstalled it because it had like almost no settings, and it felt so cheap, like it was just gonna fall apart in a
like
second.
the beginning is like you're in your place with your two friends, and you're like, oh, there's some zombies out there, and they're like, fake news, dude. And you're like, I'm gonna go play basketball, and then you walk around and play basketball for a little bit. And then you hear somebody scream, you go check it out, and that's when the zombie thing happens. And then it cuts to a month later, and it turns out you have like a sister, but oh, she went outside and like got killed, but you had no idea. And, you know, it was very like not good at that point. I was like, whatever.
It also gave me that like RPG Maker feel, even though I don't think it is at all. It just had that feeling.
There was a bunch of like all the AI posters and shit on the walls.
That too. Thank you for reminding me. There were AI art posters on the wall that aren't even good. They're just random nonsense, like, gibberish.
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of random crap on it.
It's like how lazy do you have to be to make that your first impression?
I will say the one cool thing, I like the zombies. There were a crazy amount of zombies with the little bit I played out in the city.
Okay.
So that I'll give it that one thing, but other than that, nothing else that was cool with it. I thought it was gonna be like Zomboid.
Were you gonna say that you had another one, or
no? That was it.
Okay,
it was just that.
Yeah, I still only got a couple more. My next one is Crow Country. Crow Country? I thought it was Crow County for a second, but it's Crow Country. It is a survival horror game with the gameplay of Resident Evil 1, the art style and camera perspective of Final Fantasy 7.
I was going to say that's what this looks like. It's like one of those Final Fantasy
little
games.
Popeye model. And the atmosphere of Silent Hill 1, I would say more than Resident Evil 1. But you are an agent investigating an abandoned theme park, and there are monsters, of course, and puzzles, and keys, and it actually seemed pretty cool to me. Even if the combat could take some getting used to, perhaps it
is it like
requires
a tank shooter?
So no, but it requires more specific aiming than RE1 because of that. You have to be pretty precise. So I could see it either being more interesting as you get the hang of it, or kind of frustrating. But the initial impressions did feel a bit frustratingly clunky. So still, it had a lot going for it. I would probably check it out on the full release. But yeah, it's just a straight up mashup of things I like. So I'm sure there are other people who would get into it for that reason, like you, Greg. And then my last game is called Balatro. 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 This one's kind of got some buzz as one of the premier Next Fest demos of this one. It is a roguelike card game that seems a tad unconventional to me, but maybe I just don't play many of these card game roguelike things. You enter into a battle, quote unquote, essentially against a number that you have to exceed to win that encounter. And each battle, you have a deck of normal playing cards, 52 playing cards to start. You're given a hand, and you have to, a hand of 7. Oh my God. 7, I think. And you have to make poker hands to win. So, like flush, straight, full house, pairs, etc. Poker hands. You play the cards, you draw the amount of cards that you just spent in your play, and the cards you play are like damage combos that add up points, which contribute to the score that you need to exceed. So you have to do it within a certain amount of hands, or else you lose. You can also increase that number. The faster and bigger you win, the more money you get when you win the battle. After each battle, you go to a shop where you can purchase additional cards like jokers. You can get a set of 5 jokers that are like permanent enhancements to your combos. You can get tarot cards that affect your they also can affect your combos and upgrade cards in various ways. You can get planet cards that increase the multiplier for your different poker hands. So you can like multiply, for instance, 2 pairs or something like that. Bump that up. It's a lot about multiplying the values of the cards you're playing, or straight up enhancing cards in your deck for the rest of that run. So I didn't know if this would appeal to me initially. I've always had a casual fondness for poker, I guess. And once I got into this one, I found it really entertaining. And this is the one demo that I have been hanging on to past the initial run of demos I was doing. I've been playing it every day a little bit. I'm definitely going to get this one when it comes out, because the demo is the same kind of experience as the full release, except just, limited. And I think there's going to be more content in the final release, obviously. But it's a really fun roguelike. Laying down those big combos with the poker hands, the card effects and such. And the multipliers just go woo, 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 spin it up. Feels good. Excuse me.
Seems very interesting. I'm a poker fan myself, and a roguelike card game guy, so I just downloaded this.
Yeah, I absolutely recommend it.
You know what you didn't play?
I'm dead.
That I didn't really look at the Next Fest demos, but as you're talking, I was scrolling through. Harold Halibut has a demo.
I specifically did not play the Halibut demo.
Because you're like waiting for the full release?
I just want to play the full game. I've been waiting for it for years at this point.
Okay. Makes sense.
And I think it'll be a good one. I think I'm going to enjoy it when the full game releases.